So from the last video, we still have some elements here hidden. The roof is gone, the wall here is gone, the window's gone. Let's talk about how to bring those back. If you look down in the bottom center of this screen, you see a little grayed out light bulb that says Reveal Hidden Elements. Select that and it'll show you in pink which elements are currently being hidden. If you hold down Control, you can select more than one and say Unhide Element. Now I'm going to choose to only unhide the wall and the window and leave the roof hidden so we can see what's going on here. Alright, so after you've made your changes, the light bulb here now has a pink box around it. Uncheck that and it goes back to a normal view. And let's go ahead and start to put in a floor here on our floor plan, our first floor. So to do so, go to your Architecture tab, select Floor. We're going to use the Pick Walls tool. We're just going to pick the outside walls going all the way around the house structure. And before I check, I'm going to say constraints. Yes, it's on the first floor, but I don't want it to be generic. Let's go with a wood finish. And then check. And if I want to, I could always go back. I can select just the floor and change it again here if I want. Okay, so there we have a wood finish. Now let's go ahead and look at our second floor. So I'm going to exit this one, go back into my View tab, open up the second floor. Let's go back to Tile again. And here we have an underlayment of what happened on the first floor. We can see straight down, so I can actually see where the wood paneling is from the first floor. And we do want to go back to Architecture and select Floor again. This time the level is set to second floor. I believe we're just going to click Pick Walls again. And this time we're going to pick the inside walls instead of the outside walls, so that they kind of stay inside the house. And if you pick the other way around, you'll know what I mean. Now the tricky part is with our stairs here and here. We know this is the top of the stairs, and if I were to finish this and then click on the stair, you would see that each of these risers is 11 inches tall. We want at least 7 feet clearance between the person's head and the ceiling at any point in time throughout the stairs. That would mean we need to account for, at least 8 steps, or about 8 steps, 7.5. So we're going to go pick lines. I'm going to pick the lines from our original staircase here. Oh, I think I picked the wrong line. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have to go for one more. So as long as we are going all the way down there, we may as well have this go all the way across. I'm just going to click and drag that endpoint all the way over to this wall, so that matches up. And it looks like it got rid of that little box for me, so that's nice. I am going to trim this away. I select it and hit delete. And now, if I zoom out a little bit, I believe I can just say create the floor. It says lines cannot intersect each other. The highlighted lines currently intersect. Okay. Yep, that's one thing I forgot about. So here at least it told us. we are going to have to trim out this part here. And to use trim in Revit, it's a little different than Inventor. You actually pick the two parts you're keeping, and it gets rid of what's on the inside. So I know I'm keeping these two, it gets rid of that line. Now it's only going to create the floor that goes around that part. And it still thinks there's some lines that intersect each other. So let's see what's going on here. Well, I thought I wanted those across. Just going to try and delete that out. Draw it back in one more time and see what happens. Cannot have overlapping lines. And there's one that's yellow. Well, this is being frustrating today. Ah, there were two lines there. So let's just extend that all the way over. Click check. Alright, now you see that we do have something going on here where if I can get the view cube to help me rotate. And it looks like we forgot what direction our stairs go. Let's change that direction down here at the base. That's looking much nicer. So here they start on the bottom wide, they wrap up to the top, they climb all the way up to meet here. We do have a little bit of a safety hazard right now because anyone could just walk right off the edge here. So let's try and fix that up. We're going to add a railing, which is here. Let's switch back over to our floor plan for the second floor. And we are just going to pick lines. We want our railing to go around this opening all the way. There we go. And it says the railing must be a single connected sketch. Okay, so we have to do one part and then the other. So there's the one part. Oh, it's not actually connected there, is it? Your trim is also used to extend things. So if I click on these two lines, it'll make them come back together. Huh. This may take you a couple tries. I think it's taking me just to make sure you have all your lines actually connecting. There we go. Then we'll go back in and make a second set of rails to go right along this wall. I can't tell if that's actually connected, but I'm sure this will let us know. That's looking good. Alright, perfect. Now we have this issue to deal with. So let's go and click back on our floor. We want to edit the boundary of the floor again. Before we had this all kind of chunked off, we need to do something about this, and it needs to go back. We said at least 8 steps. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to this step. Let's select pick lines. Let's check that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Let's trim off the stuff that we don't need. And again, the way that I'm doing this, I'm clicking on the two parts that I'm keeping and leaving the part we're getting rid of on the outside. If I check that, here in our 3D view, see we now have an opening, but we don't want A1 just wandering over and falling off the edge of the stairs here. It's kind of hard to see with this wall in the way. Let's hide that again. Again, as it is now, someone could just wander right off and fall into that. So let's fix that little hazard by going back into architecture and sketching a railing. And let's just pick lines again. Highlighted lines overlap. We don't want to do that. So let's just click OK and see what happens. Oh, and it tried to do more than what we told it to. So let's trim that off. Trim that off. Try and trim one more time. Now let's see what happens. So what I ended up having to do is I created this as one sketch, and I used my 3-point arc tool to pick my start point, end point, and then the midpoint I just snapped to this, so I'd have that protected the whole way around. Looks like one of my railings ended up on the floor, so let's, instead of deleting that, let me show you that you can just select it, and the base level, for some reason it went all the way down to the bottom of the footing. We want to switch it up to the second floor, and hopefully that updates. There we go. Let's take this wall off, hide in view, elements, and let's hide our window. And let's see if we can get a good view. Let's go for a top little corner view. I want to see in this window what you have in terms of railings for both floors here. So let's minimize that for a second. Switch this back to wireframe is fine. Or actually, that's a little sloppy. Let's go hidden line. Hidden line looks much better. Make a printout of this. Make sure a name's on it. That's one of your grades for this. Go to your floor plan view and show me a quick shot. And hidden line is fine for this as well. A quick shot of your second floor, then print that off as well. Alright, I think that'll be good for this. There is a quiz to take. Make sure you complete that, and we should be about ready to start up a project. I think the next step is I'm going to teach you how to do some components, how to add components into this, and we're ready to start our first project after that.